Welcome back to the 2019 NAGAAA Cup Invitational Softball Tournament here in beautiful Denver, Colorado, presented by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
For those who thirst for more, Coors Light is colder, cleaner, and crisper. Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
So in what may be seen as a bit of an upset, this Austin Fusion team that we saw just a game ago, or 2 games ago now, managed to win a game against the Orlando Unicorns, an A team, to stay alive in this tournament. So they are back again with the Phoenix Charlies. That will be their opponent here. So we will have Austin Fusion as the home team against Phoenix Charlies. And up first is Mosier, and he takes a ball inside. Strike, no, a ball called there, so we've got 3 balls and 1 strike to Mosier. And that one, a perfect strike. So the count is full to Mosier as we're underway here. There's a line drive and a beautiful catch by the shortstop. My goodness, that would hang a star. Beautiful job, ranged to his right, 3 steps, went down to 1 knee, and as the ball was tailing down, managed to just snatch it away from the ground before it had a chance to touch down. So out number 1 was recorded on a play that goes 6 unassisted. And that'll bring up Oldham, and I turn the microphone over to my broadcast partner, Rich Siegel.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oldham hits one right back to Van Vleera, makes an easy play on the 1-hopper, and it's out number 2 for Phoenix. We had some nice people that allowed me to cut in front of them to get you your sodas. It was really nice. They didn't know what I was doing at first, and then I mentioned Roman, and they said, here, it's an easy path for you. Gabe Turner hits one just over the outstretched glove of Ben Spokley and into left field for a base hit. Kelsey Spittler up at the ball, gets it back in, and they have a 2-out base runner, does Charlies. Should we call them Charlies? Phoenix? What do I call them?
We call them Charlies.
Charlies? Then Charlies it is, and that'll bring up left-handed batter Ryan Santana. He plays center field. Van Vleera's pitch to him is lifted in the air to right field. Bogan has the beat on it. Bogan in, and makes the catch, and that's out number 3 at the top of the first. A hit and 1 left for Charlies. And Austin will come to bat for the first time. We saw Charlies a couple of games ago when I think they defeated the Dallas Texas Force and knocked the Texas Force out of the playoffs. So this is a loser's bracket game. We saw ATX Fusion lose to the Palm Springs Rounders. They went on to play the Orlando Unicorns A, and they won. Correct. That's how they're able to get to this game. For most of you who know that I'm from Austin, so I'm not going to be partial. I'm not going to show any partiality here, but I will say that at least for that game, I was proud of my team. I was proud of the Fusion. So, but here we will be totally impartial. We will get excited for both teams because that's what this is all about. So as we start play here in the bottom of the first, we will tell you, for those that don't know, that Charlies plays with a 5-man infield. That 5th infielder is Will Oldham, and he is stationed right now just to the left of the shortstop, Jason Mountier. Third baseman is Brett Johnson. Over at second base is Austin Tuttle. The first baseman is James Valderia. The outfield, in left field, Caleb Schmitz. Center fielder is Ryan Santana. The right fielder is DJ Mosier. Behind the plate is the catcher Gabriel Turner, and the pitcher is Patrick Valenzuelos. James Clark will lead off for the Fusion here in the bottom of the first inning.
And the first pitch of the home team is brought to you by AD Star, your one-stop shop for balls and equipment. Check out the official ball sponsor for NAGAAA at ADStar, STARR.com.
I'm sorry, James Clark goes after the first pitch and grounds one to the second baseman, fielded cleanly by Austin Tuttle on the first, and the first pitch results in the first out of the bottom of the first by James Clark, and will bring up Keith Hinshaw.
Remind me again who the tournament sponsor is for the NAGAAA Cup 2019.
Go ahead, Miller Coors. Hinshaw takes the pitch outside, and you enjoy that.
Frothy goodness of a Coors Light. Gotta love it. The world's most refreshing beer.
He lifts one foul.
Oh, just missed.
Just misses. Wasn't fouled by much. Keith likes to go opposite field. He's very good at that. He is now at 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. The on-deck hitter is Chris Bogan. Hello to our viewers in Phoenix and our viewers in Austin. Hinshaw goes after a pitch that was out of the strike zone and lifts one foul down the right field line. It's 3-2. Three balls and 2 strikes to Hinshaw. He swings and lifts one in the air to shallow left center field. It will be caught by the shortstop. That's the shortstop's play. That's Jason Mountier, and that's out number 2 here in the bottom of the first, and we'll bring up Chris Bogan.
We are dangerously close to having a scoreless first inning.
I don't think that's happened.
It's not. Not that I recall. Certainly not today.
It's the second time I've done that. All right. Bogan takes a pitch for a ball, 2-1. Left-handed thrower. Bogan, I'll tell you, he's nothing if not consistent, and he drives one right between the middle infielder and the second baseman into right center field for a base hit.
That was a beautiful swing, too. That left-handed pull went right where the pitcher threw it, didn't try to do too much of it, and found a hole in that 5-man infield.
So that'll bring up the pitcher, Brian Van Vlera. Brian, a World Series winner with a B team in Austin, the Austin Hot Flash, back in 2017 in Portland. As is the batter that is coming up behind him, Ashton Hinton. First pitch to Van Vlera is just up. It's on the outside corner.
Just caught it.
For a strike. Is that AJ umpiring?
It is?
It is umpiring, yes. And so that pitch is a little short for a ball. It's 2-2.
AJ from Atlanta, correct?
Yes. And Vlera takes a pitch just low. Ball 3, full count. And here's the next one. And Vlera swings and hits one off the pitcher's glove. It'll go to the right side, and it'll be a base hit as Bogan reaches second base. That was a hard hit ball. Would have been a good play by the pitcher. But off his glove, it'll be a base hit. Runners at first and second, and 2 out. And Ashton Hinton will bat.
He's going to make a liar out of me. Watch.
Who?
Hinton.
Oh, okay.
So much for that scoreless first inning. It smells like a base hit coming.
All right, here's Hinton. And the first pitch to him. He swings and lifts one to left field. That ball is caught by Caleb Schmitz, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning. Ashton hit it well, but it was in the ballpark, and Schmitz took about 10 steps back, was able to make the catch, and that retires Austin here in the bottom of the first. 2 hits, 2 left. No score going to the top of the second.
I will not take credit for jinxing him. It's on me. This game is brought to you by Triangle Bar in downtown Denver. The Triangle Bar offers an elevated experience for our LGBTQ family and allies with craft cocktails and locally sourced pub grub. All in the beautifully restored Triangle Lounge building in the heart of downtown. Visit triangledenver.com.
I want to give a special thanks if we let's do that to Jeff Card, the commissioner. Jeff has been making sure that we've had our lineups well in time for these games to start, so we're not scrambling to fill our scorebooks here as the game is underway. So we really do appreciate Jeff for doing that. Kelsey Spittler in left, Omar Zabane in left center, Eric Straker right center, Chris Bogan in right. Ben Spokley at third, James Clark at short, Ashton Hinton at second, Stephen Dillard at first, Keith Henshaw catching, Brian Van Vleer the pitcher. In the top of the second, leadoff batter will be the first baseman, James Valderia. First pitch to him is swung on and hit off the pitcher's glove to the shortstop. No play for Clark and a leadoff single up the middle. Ball hit well, and it's runner at first base with nobody out. Just a solid single off the pitcher's glove. Nothing that Brian could do about it. And so one on and nobody out. Here's Austin Tuttle. He swings and lifts one to right center field. A little leaping catch by Straker. It's out number 2. Out number 1. Brent Johnson, BJ, the runner at first. Now we're almost completely overcast here today. We're not in Denver proper, right? Westminster, is that where
we are? Technically in the suburb of Westminster, just a little bit north and west of Denver proper. And on the way back to our hotel, we pass the Mile High Stadium where the Broncos play, and on the way out here to the fields, we pass, taking a different route, we pass the Colorado Rockies field, Coors Field.
That's right. And here's a long fly ball to left field. Caught! Oh, what a nice play by Kelsey Spittler. Look what I have in my glove. Great catch by the left fielder. That's out number 2.
Let the girls play. My goodness.
Exactly. She is one of the best players on this team, and their coach, Andy Cope, before the first game that Austin played this morning against Palm Springs, I said, who has been your best player so far, your most consistent? And he said the first name he mentioned was Kelsey Spittler, and she certainly came up big for her team on that play. By the way, on the play, Valderia reached second base as he was tagging. And now this is Mountier, who hits one to deep left center field. And Omar Zabane with another outstanding play in the outfield. And so 2 circus catches almost for the Fusion will end the top of the second. 1 hit and 1 left for Charlie's.
Hurt foot and all. He ranged all the way over. The left center fielder, the right center fielder both converged on the 307 sign. Zabana had the better look on it, so he called for it and then had to go up against the fence to pick that up, and his foot hit the warning track, so it kind of caused him to lose a little bit of a footing, but still athletic enough is Zabane to make that catch. Beautiful job out there.
He did a good job ranging far to his left, just like Kelsey made a fantastic catch ranging far to her right. So the outfield comes up big for Fusion here in the top of the second inning. Valenzuelos back to the mound for Charlie's here in the bottom of the second, and Eric Straker will be the leadoff batter for Fusion. He is playing right center field today. Caught a little bit yesterday, but he's back in the outfield where he likes to play. And so he will be the leadoff batter. He'll be followed by Ben Spokley and Kelsey Spittler. Batters 6, 7, and 8.
So just to throw a little bit of confusion at you, if the Charlie's team wins this game, they of course advance into the winners bracket final or the losers bracket final. If the as the sort of guaranteed 4th place there, if Fusion loses this game, they will finish second in the B section of this tournament.
Clear as Eric Straker takes a ball. It's 2-1.
You have sort of one tournament, but 2 sides going at it.
And then you mentioned yesterday, and it's worth mentioning again today, there's ball 3. The top 3 teams in A and the top 3 teams in B, and here is a strike, it's 3 and 2. The top 3 in A and the top 3 in B will get automatic entry into the World Series.
Automatic paid entry into the
okay.
World Series, which is going to save you $600, give or take.
That's fantastic. All right, leadoff base runner is Eric Straker as he walks on 5 pitches, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Ben Spokley.
And for those leagues that only have a certain number of berths that they're able to send because of size and everything, the automatic berths to the World Series that come out of the NAGAAA Cup do not count against that allotment.
Here's a fly ball to right field. It's caught.
Nicely done out there to track that ball. Well done.
DJ Mosier with the catch, coming over towards the foul line. That's out number 1, and it'll bring up Kelsey Spittler. Our vantage point here is such that I lose balls down the right field line that Roman can see, and he loses the ball down the left field line, which I can see. And so that's why we sometimes let the other guy take it when it's hit to a various side of the diamond. Here's Spittler again, and she takes another ball. It's 3-1.
And that's got to be intimidating. I mean, just from her vantage point, there's 6 jerseys sitting there, and she finds a hole.
She hits another one into the outfield. That's a base hit to left center field. Striker held at second, but now on his way to third, and he is out at third base.
They got him, sure enough. The tag came in at around the chest level right before that foot got in. I don't know if Striker slides or not, but had he done so, that might have been a different outcome.
Well, here's Omar Zabane. First pitch to him.
Who made that amazing catch out right
a fly ball,
left center.
Fly ball to right field. Had a little carry on it, but not far enough. DJ Mosier makes the catch, and what should have been first and second with 1 out now turns into 3 outs, and that is how the inning ends, and we're no score after 2.
I had a chance to visit with Zabane a little bit earlier, and he had said out loud that he was not thrilled with his hitting so far this tournament. He feels like he's been in a little bit of a slump. And I had jokingly mentioned that whenever I pitch to him, he seems to hit just fine. But he definitely feels like he wants to up his offense so that he can help contribute to this team a little bit more.
You know, he does. I think he presses too much, though, and sometimes he's a little. He and I have talked about this many, many, many times. We've talked in person. We've talked Facebook chat about this, and I tell him that patience is a virtue. And if you swing at the first pitch, you're not giving yourself an opportunity to see something better. So here we go.
He's got so much raw talent that he'll any kind of a slump for an athlete of his caliber is going to be a short-lived slump.
Hopefully you're correct. All right, we start play here in the top of the third. Patrick Valenzuelos, the pitcher, will lead off. He wears number 8, and he's the first batter here in the top of the third. And Van Vleera's first pitch is grounded right up the middle. Too tall for Van Vleera. The play made by Clark, but he double clutched, and so Valenzuelos reaches first on the infield single.
No argument from any of the players on the team, so a bang play there made by the first base umpire.
And there will be a runner for him. And so 1 out, and here is Caleb Schmitz.
We were talking about Zabane, and I'm wondering, he had that aggravated foot injury on his left foot. We'll see if that play.
Down to Spokely. To Hinton for 1. There's no play at first base. Ashton wisely does not try to make the play. Caleb runs very well, and so the lead runner is erased. The putout goes 5-4. And whoever was running at first base for Valenzuelos is now taking a seat in the dugout. So there's 1 out on the forced play 5-4. And the batter will be DJ Mosier. Mosier grounded to James Clark, the shortstop, in his first at-bat. First pitch to the left-handed batter is a ball. 2-1. And that pitch is about the same. Oh, no, it crossed the plate. Good deal, 2-2. Mosier swings and lifts the ball to left field. It's short. Kelsey Spittler coming in, makes the catch.
Great job.
And she gets the ball back in quickly, and so Schmitz will hold at first base. It's out number 2.
Have we seen anybody come home yet?
No. We have not.
Wow.
And here is Will Oldham. Will bounced back to Van Vleera, the pitcher, in the first inning. And the first pitch to him is swung on, and he hits a fly ball to right center field. It's got a little carry, but not enough. Straker on the warning track makes the catch, and that's the 3rd out. A very quick pedestrian inning for Brian Van Vleera. A hit and 1 left, and we go to the bottom of the 3rd, and believe it or not, here at the NAGAAA Cup 2019, we have played 2.5 innings, and no runs have scored. It is 0-0. What do you think about that?
I think we are seeing some phenomenal defense is what I think. It's really hard to quantify. Hopefully you folks there at home on the live stream, Facebook and YouTube, can get a chance to really appreciate what defense looks like, because this is a defensive gem. Now, softball games can turn on a dime, so don't be at all surprised if all of a sudden in 5 minutes we're talking about the offensive explosion and it's a 15-14 ball game in the next 2 innings. But for right now, we are witnessing some truly special defense by both sides.
One of the Fusion's biggest fans in Austin watching us on the live stream today, so we'll give a shout out to our friend Mitzi Shaw. Mitzi, thank you for your nice words, and we're glad that you're with us, and all of you in Austin and in Phoenix who are watching today, we hope that you're enjoying this game. There is still no score as we start the bottom of the third, and Stephen Dillard leads off with the first pitch outside.
Patrick Valenzuela, the pitcher for Charlie's, is just doing a gem, matching his counterpart Van Valera pitch for pitch.
It truly is.
Setting up these hitters, taking control.
Stephen Dillard takes a strike. It's 3-2. Next one is inside, ball 4. So the leadoff batter on for the Fusion here in the bottom of the third will bring up the top of the order, and James Clark, who had a weak ground ball to second base. Now, despite his injury, Omar is still faster than Stephen Dillard, and so Zabane comes in, and he will be the runner at first base. The injury that Zabane had was not a softball injury. The injury is on his foot, not his ankle. He says that it doesn't hurt as much when he runs. When he plants, it's a little bit of a different story. The first pitch to James Clark is a ball. The next pitch is swung on and lined foul down the left field line. It's 2-2.
I don't even know what that means.
What's that?
How do you run and not plant?
That's what he told me.
Well, because
I might have misunderstood.
He's faster than me, so he probably doesn't have to get as much effort out of his feet as I do.
I don't know whether it's in the foot proper or maybe it's in the heel, but I was watching me tape it up this morning. Clark swings, and it's a weak ground ball back to the pitcher. Valenzuela has no play. He bobbled the ball. Zabane made it to second, and Clark, who runs faster than anybody on this team, makes it to first. It's first and second with nobody out.
I think had Valenzuela not bobbled that, I can't imagine that was going to be an out, because A, with his speed, and 2, that ball was hit into kind of no man's land. Valenzuela had to come off the rubber to get it as the momentum was taking him toward third. So even to stop and plant and throw, there's planting. Now we figured it out.
See, he definitely would have never had to play at first base. His only play might have been at second base. Now here's Keith Henshaw, and he tries to go opposite field, but the ball just out on the other side of the foul line. It's a foul ball.
About 5 feet foul, that one was. So well foul. But yeah, I don't think he had any shot at all. His only play, you're right, was to second, and Zabane was already there.
Here's the next pitch. It's inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the next one. Henshaw swings and hits one to left field for a base hit. Zabane will be held at third base by third base coach Andy Cope.
That was a one-hopper right to the left fielder. Nobody had any chance of going any further than that.
Bases loaded, and their best hitter by far in this tournament has been Chris Bogan, and he will bat with Zabane at third, Clark at second, Henshaw at first. Henshaw had twice tried to go opposite field. On that pitch, he went with the pitch and lined it to left field. Bogan takes a ball.
Not sure where that missed. It must have hit the plate.
And the next one, he swings and lifts one in the air to right center field. That ball's got some carry. It's off the fence. Zabane scores. Here comes Clark. He will score. Henshaw on his way to third. There's a play. He's out.
Dead duck there.
He's out. Everyone had to hold up to make sure that the center fielder, Santana, was not going to catch the ball. Bogan, who is now shaking his head at first base, will get a 2-run single. The out will go 8-4-5.
Beautifully done there. Beautiful relay. And that run, of course, is brought to you by Right Choice Promotions. The official merchandiser for NAGAAA. Whenever you need a merchandise run, check them out at rightchoicepromotions.com.
Here's Van Valera up the middle. Middle infielder steps on the bag for the first out, and he will trot on over to first base for the second out. So after loading the bases with nobody out, Austin does score 2. And as we go to the top of the fourth, we have our first runs of the ball game. Austin Fusion 2, Charlie's Phoenix nothing.
That was a big hit for Bogan coming up, and he got a hold of it and sent it all the way to the warning track. We have seen that now about 4 or 5 times, 300-foot singles, which is what that was. And, you know, with this really talented and athletic outfield that we have seen from the Charlies to the Rounders to the Fusion to the Unicorns to just about everybody that we have seen over the last few days, as they make it so, they are so good that you really do have to hold up, because anything that you think is going to clearly be extra bases has been caught numerous times, as we've seen. So that's why you get those 300-foot singles.
You know, you got to give the outfield credit for getting that ball back in so quickly.
Very quickly. Great recovery.
Yeah, absolutely. Leadoff batter here on the top of the 4th for Charlie's Phoenix is going to be Gabe Turner, the catcher. He reached on a single his first time up, and he hits an opposite field single to right field again. And so he is an inning opening base runner here in the top of the 4th, and will bring up the center fielder Ryan Santana, who had a fly ball to Chris Bogan in the first inning. So Bogan adds to his RBI total. He's got to be in double digits by now based on all the games that we've seen. Santana swings and hits one to left center field. It is over the head of Kelsey Spittler. It will go for at least a single. Here is Turner on his way to third. Santana in at second with a double. Second and third for Charlie's with nobody out here in the top of the 4th.
In case you're wondering why you're looking at this, the camera angle that we have, we're swapping out one of our cameras behind home plate. So that is why that is happening.
And we are so appreciative of Mitch for that. Boy, I'll tell you, he's been doing some great work. Here's a long fly ball,
one is
and
gone.
That's going to be a 3-run homer for James Valderia. A 3-run homer, and that puts Charlie's up 3-2.
And you wouldn't need the home camera for that one, because that one sailed well over the fence and out to the frontage road that's out there. That was probably what, Rich, 330?
Sure.
Man, he got all of that.
Austin Tuttle, the second baseman, will bat next. He is 0 for 1. He fly to right center his first time up. We've seen a lot of teams that have hit home runs. The Fusion, not so much a home run hitting team. They have a couple of guys that can go yard, but not too many. The first pitch is for a ball. Here's the second one. So it's 2-1. There's a fly ball hit to left center field. That ball's got some carry for it, but it goes to the warning track, and it's caught by Kelsey Spittler. That is out number 1 here in the top of the 4th, and we'll bring up Brent Johnson. BJ, the third baseman, fly to left his first time up on a catch that was a little acrobatic by Spittler as she was ranging to her right. Unfortunately, she catches with her right hand, and so she was able to make that play a little bit easier. I think if she had been playing the opposite hand, it might not have been as easy. Here's the first pitch, and it's outside for a ball. It's 3-2 for Charlie's here in the top of the 4th on the 3-run home run. That's the first for Valderia. Charlie's Phoenix, of course, is an A team. Fusion B is a B team, so we're playing by the B team rules, which means that you can only hit 2 over-the-fence home runs. If you hit a third, it's an inning out. In this particular at-bat,
caught looking.
Johnson is caught looking. He thought that pitch was a ball and started to advance to first base, and home plate umpire AJ from Atlanta said, "Sit down, young man."
That'll be quite enough.
I've heard all that I'm going to hear from you. And here is the shortstop, Jason Mountier. Mountier hit a fly ball to deep center field that was tracked down on a nice catch by Zabane in the second inning, and he takes the first pitch for a ball. And this pitch is also a little bit outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Van Glera works quickly, and this is inside for a ball. So a 2-out base runner here on the walk will bring up the pitcher.
We've got our home plate camera working back again, so thank you, everybody. Batteries and 6 hours of softball do not always go well together, so we had to swap out one of our batteries.
Patrick Valenzuelos, in his first time up, reached on a single.
He's pitching himself a great game.
First pitch to him. I don't know if he called time or not. The pitch was made, did he?
It was a no pitch.
I didn't see AJ throw his hands up, and now he does. So it was no pitch. Next one to official first one to Valenzuela. He drives one to the alley at right center field.
Straker
Tracks it down. Oh, what a fabulous catch by the right center fielder, leaping and going to his left. Makes the great play. For us, it was going to his right. For Eric, going to his left. And another bailout by the outfield. And that ends the inning for Charlie's, but not before 3 hits and 3 runs. The big blow, the 3-run home run by James Valderia. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Our new score is Charlie's 3 and the Fusion 2.
Boy,
Wow.
Valenzuelos, you need to call the cops because you
Yes.
were just robbed. That was a rocket off of the bat there by the right center fielder. That was Straker. Managed to make a heck of a catch, running to his left, stuck his arm out there, and look what I got. Great play. We've got ourselves a ball game.
We really do.
3-2.
Ashton Hinton is going to lead off. He flied to left field his first time up. One of the sponsors for the Fusion is Amy Bartelt. She runs an educational school for autistic children. She supports this team. She goes to all the tournaments with them. She's in the dugout. She's the first one out as the team comes in off the field to do high fives. And she's been a sponsor of teams in softball Austin for about 5 years. She's one of the best. Team mom. Definitely the team mom. So Hinton leads off here. First pitch to him is inside for a ball. The company that Amy runs is called Austin Communication Station. And here's the next pitch to him, is fouled. Dell EMC Technologies is also a sponsor of the Fusion. And we've already talked to the good people, your friends from Phoenix, who I had just met earlier today.
Fine folks from Charlie, sponsored by Coors Light.
Exactly. He hits a ground ball to second base, and the play to first is in time for an out. Second base to first base, that's Tuttle to Valderia. That's out number 1, and they bring up Straker, who just made that really nice catch in right center field.
The nickname for Charlie's are the Toros, by the way.
Right.
But they're ubiquitous as Charlie's because that's not only the name that's emblazoned across their jersey. Wow, what a shot!
Straker hits the first pitch right back to Valenzuelos. That's an easy out, 1-3 on the putout.
And that's got to feel good for Valenzuelos to be able to rob Straker too. That's
Tit for tat,
right?
Exactly. Ben Spokley now bats with 2 outs and nobody on in a 3-2 ball game. Charlie's leading, and we should say that this team also Charlie's gets additional support from Arizona Glovemen, or Gloveman, and Downtime Sports. First pitch to Spokley, he swings, and so a line drive to the shortstop. They're not even giving themselves a chance here when they're going after the first pitch. That's the 3rd out here in the bottom of the 4th. No runs, no hits, and no one left on base. We go to the top of the 5th, and it's 3-2. One would be remiss if we just didn't say a huge thank you to all of the sponsors, not only for the teams that are here, but for the cities and the teams across the entire spectrum of NAGAAA, because they are invaluable. They provide uniforms, travel money for going to tournaments,
league fees.
It's amazing what the sponsors do. All of them, and I know there are hundreds of them, and we are so appreciative of everything that they do for their teams and their cities.
Which is a perfect time to remind you that this game is brought to you by Triangle Bar in downtown Denver. The Triangle Bar offers an elevated experience for our LGBTQ family and allies with craft cocktails and locally sourced pub grub, all in the beautifully restored Triangle Lounge building in the heart of downtown Denver. Visit triangledenver.com.
Caleb Schmitz will lead off here in the top of the 5th for Charlie's. He grounded to third base in his first at-bat, forced the runner at second, and then was left stranded on 2 fly balls after that. His first pitch is swung on and hit past the diving third baseman Ben Spokley. It'll be at least a double for Schmitz as he motors into second base. And so for the second inning in a row, a leadoff batter on for Charlie's.
I don't know if you saw that just now, but we saw a little hug from the second baseman Ashton Hinton and the batter there at second base. The kind of collegiality and familiarity that you get when you come to one of these tournaments.
They used to play together.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they did. In fall ball, Schmitz played a little bit for one of the Austin teams that I was with and that Ashton was with. So, yeah, we were well versed with Caleb. He's really a sweet guy. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to the leadoff batter, DJ Mosier, who was grounded to shortstop and hit a fly ball to left field. And Stephen Dillard makes a nice play at first base. However, he is not able to make the play to Van Vleera. The ball gets by Brian Van Vleera and rolls to the dugout. That allows Schmitz to score, and the runner at first base will hold. That's Mosier. That makes the score 4-2. It was a nice stop by... Oh, go ahead.
No, that's a tough play. Good stop by the first baseman. The pitcher had to come over and cover because the runner was hustling down the line. There just really wasn't a play.
So, runner at first and nobody out. The batter will be Will Oldham. He has bounced to the pitcher, fly to right center. 4-2 now for Charlie's here in the top of the 5th, and there's a line drive down the right field line, and that is a base hit. It will be first and second at least, and now Mosier on his horse heads to third. There'll be no play there. Clark holds on to the ball. And it's first and third for Charlie's with nobody out. We'll bring up the catcher, Gabe Turner. Turner has a couple of hits in this game, and he scored Charlie's first run.
That play was that ball landed about 6 inches just inside the line. So it was right there.
Perfectly placed. And the first pitch to Turner is hit down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Mosier scores to make it 5-2. Spittler bobbles the ball in the outfield, and that will allow Oldham to score. It's a stand-up double for Turner, 2 RBIs, and it is now 6-2.
Facebook, we want to know who you're rooting for. Are you an Austin, Texas Fusion fan, or are you rooting for Charlie's Toros? Let us know. We want to hear. Challenging the height limit there was Van Vleera.
Batter is Santana. He lifts a fly ball into center field. The ball's got a little carry, but Zabane tracks it down on the warning track, and the runner at second base will tag and go to third. That's Turner, and so he is at third base with 1 out, and that will bring up This is number 21, and he hits a fly ball in a deep left field.
Oh, that one's
ball
gone.
Goes yard. That's a home run. A 2-run homer.
Opposite field shot even, as the bat coming off the bat of that left-handed batter, that ball was tattooed. So what's the score now, Rich? That was a 2-run shot or a 3-run shot?
That was a 2-run shot, so it's 8-2.
That ball was smoked. Yeah, Kelly Spittler? Kelsey Spittler tried to get up there, climbed halfway up the fence, but she had no chance.
There's a line drive up the middle, and that will go through for a base hit. That should bring up B.J. Johnson. And the first pitch to him, he swings and goes up.
Oh, beautiful play.
Waits for Clark at second. That's 1 on to first for a
double play. Beautiful play by the pitcher. Well done. That was a hot shot right back to him, and of course your instinct is to get rid of the ball as quickly as it came to you, but he had to wait for Clark, who was playing deep in the hole, to come in. But of course that speed of Clark, he was able to close that distance, get that ball, field it, step on second base, and rifle a strike over to first to close out the double play. That was a beautiful 1-6-3 double play turned by the Austin Fusion.
All right, I was checking with, just to make sure that we had the right score. There were 5 runs that came across that inning for the Charlie's Phoenix Toros, and so they have an 8-2 lead. And so Austin Fusion has their work cut out. They have 3 more at-bats in this game, and Kelsey Spittler will lead off.
Really fantastic play.
The double play, yes. Spittler in this game has singled. She hit a base hit to left center field, and so the middle infielder, look where he's playing. He knows exactly where she likes to place the ball, and he is positioned perfectly there. And I'll bet you that Kelsey has caught that. She is a very intelligent hitter. She's a singles hitter. Sometimes will hit doubles, but she is very intelligent when.
Look at where the second baseman's playing,
second baseman is also on the outfield.
So that means Valenzuelos will need to feed her something on the outside.
And that pitch is
short on the plate.
If she's smart, she'd bunt. And the next pitch is hit right between the two of them. I told you she's smart. She leads off the inning with a base hit to center field. She's 2 for 2.
Beating the shift again.
And that'll bring up Omar Zabane, who hit a fly ball to right field, his first at bat.
I don't think that pitch is where Valenzuelos wanted it. He left it a little bit right over the middle. I think he was trying to feed her inside to get her to ground out.
Zabane takes a pitch inside, 2 balls and a strike. Now he swings and lifts one to right center field. It has no carry to it. It's caught by the right fielder, and Spittler will hold first, so another outfield out. And that's the one thing that Valenzuelos has been able to do. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Gets in a little bit of trouble, elevates that ball, gets the shoulder to drop, and finds himself a fly ball out.
Stephen Dillard walked and scored the first run for the Fusion. That was in the 3rd inning, and he bats with a runner at first base and 1 out in the 5th inning. Again, the Fusion B team is the home team for this game. The pitch is outside for a ball.
Now that middle infielder has moved over to the right side of the
second
infield.
base. Yeah, that's
with a right-handed batter.
Well, because Stephen likes to try to go opposite field as well, but he doesn't have to this time because for the second at bat in a row for Stephen, he has walked, and that brings the top of the order up in an 8-2 ball game. And Hinton will be running at first base. He is the designated runner, the first designated runner for this team, and Clark the second, but Clark is batting now. James is grounded to second base. He is also singled, and he scored a run here for Fusion in the bottom of the 3rd. The first pitch to him is swung on, and he grounds one to left field for a base hit. Spittler will be held at third base by third base coach Andy Cope, and so it's bases loaded and 1 out for the Fusion. And we'll bring up Keith Hinshaw. Hinshaw has popped to the shortstop, and he is also singled to left field in his last at-bat. He bats with the bases loaded, goes after the first pitch and grounds one. Right past both the first baseman and the second baseman into right field for a base hit. It'll be an RBI single for Hinshaw. On the play, Spittler scores. Hinton holds 3rd. Clark advances to 2nd, and the bases are still loaded with Chris Bogan coming to the plate.
Seeing eye single past the diving gloves of 2 infielders.
Bogan in this game has 2 hits. His last hit hit the fence and resulted in one of the longer singles that we've seen. That pitch is high, but he goes after it and lifts one deep to right field. That ball's got some carry. It is off the fence. Here comes Hinton. Here comes Clark. Hinshaw stops at second base. They throw to the plate. It's late. Bogan holds first. 2-run score in the play, and the score is now 8-5.
This Austin team not going away, knowing they have some work to cut out for them, and their biggest hitter so far, Bogan, smacks a clutch, bases loaded double off the fence. That ball traveled 297 feet.
So he now has 4 runs batted in on the afternoon. He has driven in 4 of the 5 runs for this team. Hinshaw did not go to 3rd, so he's at 2nd. Bogan at 1st, 1 out. Here's Van Vlera, and he takes a pitch outside for a ball. It's 2-1. Ryan swings and lines one right to the middle infielder. They'll throw to first and out. Bogan is out at first base, and a double play, the middle infielder to first base, and that ends the inning.
Man, just when you think Austin is taking the momentum back with that big hit that scored 2, right back comes this Phoenix Charlies team with sparkling defense of their own.
Yes.
Rich, we are seeing Defense defined today.
I'm looking at my score sheet here, and we've had some, we make a little star when we've got great defensive plays. And one of the things here, we played 5 innings. It's been errorless ball on the parts of both teams, but the better plays on the infield have been made by this Charlie's team, and they've got 2 infield double plays already in this game. But Austin does close a little, or gets a little closer with those 3 runs. Bogan with another 2-run long single to the outfield.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, he is as angry with himself as he could be with anybody else, because all right, so we go to the 6th inning, and Mountier will lead off for Charlie's. First pitch to him, swung on and hit to right field for a base hit. Little grounder that one hops into the outfield between Hinton and Dillard. 1 out. You kind of get the feeling, the way this game is going, we started out scoreless until the bottom of the 3rd, and now we have runs. But the last at-bat is going to be the key at-bat. And here is Valenzuelos. Valenzuelos is singled and hit a fly ball to right center on a great leaping catch by Straker. That was in the 4th inning. He's batting now here in the 6th inning, top of the 6th, in an 8-5 ball game. And the next pitch is fly to right field. Bogan going back, and that ball is caught. And did he drop it? He dropped it. And so that will allow Mountier to get to second base. And it's 1st and 2nd with nobody out.
Bogan is going to say that was on the transfer. He's going to argue his point. They're also going to say that play at second was a little closer than it should have been. But no real argument is going to be had here.
Ryan Van Blera talking to the first base umpire. That's Julie.
So now they're going to...
Now AJ is going to talk to Brian.
Ask for...
And he is saying again that the outfield error...
That the outfield did not make the catch.
This is Caleb Schmitz. Schmitz is grounded to 3rd on a fielder's choice. He doubled down the left field line and scored, and takes the first pitch for a ball. And Blair working quickly, and that next pitch is a strike, 2-2. 8-5 our score here in the top of the 6th inning. Van Blera back to Schmitz, and he swings and he lifts one in the air to left center field. Zabane goes back on the ball. He makes the catch. On the play, the runners will advance to 2nd and 3rd. That ball was hit deep enough for both of those runners to advance. That's the first out of the inning, and it will bring up DJ Mosier as we go back to the top of the order.
Again, another sparkling play by Zabane to get that ball, ranging over. Kept his, kind of like a wide receiver does, catching a floater down to the 20-yard line. He just was able to keep his eyes on it the whole time, even though he had his numbers to the infield.
I think this is a key at bat in this ball game right here to try to keep this game closer. There's a ground ball to short. Clark will go to first.
Oh, what a cannon!
There, 6-3 on the putout. That does allow a run to score as Mountier scores. It is now 9-5, and on the play, the runner for Valenzuelos will go to 3rd base. I can't see, and it really wouldn't matter if I did know what the number was, because the one thing I don't have are numbers for Charlie's.
So Jamie, we had a chance to visit with her earlier. What she is going to do now, she went and chatted with the base umpire who made the call, asked her to think about the call that she made. The base umpire referred to the home plate umpire. Jamie's contention is that the first baseman picked his foot up and then smacked it down again, and then in the interim, the player was able to make it to first. That is not, however, how that has been determined, but that was her argument there, in case you were wondering.
Will Oldham will be batting next, and he is grounded to first. He has fly to right center, and he has a single. Here is the first pitch to him, and it is a ball. The 2-1. Swing and a grounder deep in the hole at short. Clark backhands and he has no play. He's coming home, and the runner is safe.
Great play by Clark just to get to that ball, and then a good heads-up play to realize he didn't have a throw at first, but then threw at home, and slower runner, he would have been out.
Gabe Turner, the batter, he has singled and doubled. He has singled twice and doubled, and he hits a ground ball to right field for a base hit.
Oh,
Close play on the
backdoor attempt there.
door at second base. Bogan to Clark, but the runner was safe, and it's now first and second with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Santana. First pitch to him is a ball. So Austin scores 3 in the bottom of the 5th. Charlie's comes back with 2 in the top of the 6th. That next pitch is a ball. It's 3-1. And here is ball 4.
Didn't miss by much. This is the batter who you saw a moment ago in his last at bat hit that bomb to deep left field.
I will only tell you that, I can only tell you, not will only tell you, I can only tell you it's number 21. And so if you are in Phoenix and you know who number 21 is, I'd be grateful if you'd let me know. Here's the next pitch to him. He swings and hits one down the left field line. It's in for a hit. A run is in. Here comes another run. The ball bounces to the fence. A third runner will be held up. And so it'll be second and third with 2 out.
Clutch hitting again there by that left-handed bat, smoking that one down the left field side. Kept it in the park this time. Foul tip there.
This is number 24. Next pitch to him. He swings and pops it up. In foul territory, Hinshaw with the basket catch, and the inning is over. I have 5 runs in that inning, and that will make the score 13-5, with Austin coming up to bat here in the bottom of the 6th.
Now, as Austin is the home team, they will get 2 cracks at this apple. We'll find out how much time is left here. We should be in pretty good shape. Game is moving quite along, especially in the early part. We are likely to get all 7 in, I would think.
I think so. Ashton Hinton, Eric Straker, Kelsey Spittler will be the batters that will start this inning for the Fusion. Ashton in this game has flied to left. He is grounded to second. The first pitch to him is hit in the air to left field. Caleb Schmitz ranges to the foul line, goes into foul territory, makes the catch, and that is out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th, and will bring up Eric Straker. Straker has walked. He has bounced back to the pitcher. He is officially 0 for 1. He bats with nobody on and 1 out. And the first pitch to him, swung on and grounded to second base, off the second baseman's glove and into center field rather, for a base hit. The ball took a little bit of a hop as the second baseman Tuttle reached for it, so a 1-out base runner for Fusion B. And that'll bring up the third baseman Ben Spokley, who has flied to right and lined to the shortstop. Left-handed pitcher Valenzuelos' first delivery, first pitch swinging, a grounder to short. To the middle infielder for 1 on the first double play, and that is the inning for the Fusion. No runs a hit and nobody left on. 1 more inning to go. We go to the top of the 7th. Our score is Charlie's 13, Fusion 5. Fusion taking the field now as we head to the top of the 7th. And number 11 is going to lead off for Charlie's in the top of the 7th.
This game is brought to you by Triangle Bar in downtown Denver. The Triangle Bar offers an elevated experience for our LGBTQ family and allies with craft cocktails and locally sourced pub grub. All in the beautifully restored Triangle Lounge building in the heart of downtown. Visit triangledenver.com. We got a chance to visit the Triangle Bar on Friday. It's a beautiful building inside.
Yes, we had a good time there for the registration party. They were very accommodating and had a good time there. First pitch to number 11 is a ball. Again, this is an elimination game. The winner will move on and through the loser's bracket. Next delivery. What did you tell me earlier? That the loser of this game...
Well, it all depends on who the loser is. So if the score holds...
There's a base hit to left field.
Then Austin would be awarded second place in the B side of the tournament.
Trophy. Silver, so to speak.
Correct.
Speaking of silver, the silver cans of Coors. A major sponsor here this weekend. And here's a ground ball to second base by Mountier. Hitting on to Clark for 1. No play at first.
This is my silver can of Coors.
Pitcher Valenzuelos will bat next. He is reaching a single fly to right center on a great catch by Straker, and then hit a fly ball and to right field and reached in his last at bat and scored a run.
Now, I like to tell people that I grew up just an aluminum step away from the trailer park, so I am used to adding a little bit of salt to my Coors Light.
Here's a line drive base hit in the left field. It throws off of Clark's leg, and so bounces a little further away for Spittler. And that will allow Montier to reach third base, and Valenzuelos will wind up at second. Schmitz will be the batter.
They'll pull Valenzuelos for a faster runner.
He wears number 28.
Valenzuelos has pitched himself a masterful game.
And Schmidt swings and lines one right
Oh,
back to the pitcher.
my goodness!
Look what I found.
And the batter is impressed, tips his cap to the pitcher. That was a fantastic play there.
All right, here is DJ Mosier. Runners at second and third, nobody out, and the first pitch is lined to left foul for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch goes behind the batter.
I don't know how they lay out these pitches so close.
Bouncing ball back to Van Vlera on to Dillard, and that's the third out. No run scoring for Charlie's here in the top of the 7th. Last at bat coming up for Fusion. They need a lot of help. They need the runs. They trail by the score of 13-5. They'll bat Spittler, Zabate, and Dillard, the bottom 3 in their order here to start the bottom of the 7th.
And the 2019 NAGAAA Cup Invitational Softball Tournament is presented by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
For those who thirst for more, Coors Light is colder, cleaner, and crisper. Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
So we head into the bottom of the 7th. It's clutch time, Rich. If this Austin, Texas team wants to advance further along, they're going to have to put up, 9 runs?
Yes. 8 to tie, 9 to win. We haven't had any, I don't think we've had, not that I'm aware of, any games that have gone extra.
Not that we've covered, but there have been 3 games that I have seen that have gone extra innings. One went 2 extra innings.
Okay. Kelsey Spittler leads off. She has singled twice. And the first pitch to her is
A ball. Just deep.
Valenzuelos comes right back.
That was perfect. That was perfect.
2 and 2.
Right over that corner.
Spittler swings and hits one right back to the pitcher. He can't find it. Now does recover, and too late.
But that was a magical play by both. Well, first of all, let's applaud the runner because she is, what, 3 for 3 now?
She's 3 for 3.
3 for 3. And a great athletic move by the pitcher who that ball went right between his wickets, hit his glove, got in between. He thought it went past him. They were yelling at him that it was right by him. So he drops everything. The hat comes off, the glove comes off, and he picks up the ball barehanded, palm up, and just flicks it over to first and darn near got the out.
He made a really fabulous play at his position. We're talking about, fielders field their positions well. They are worth everything to their team. Savani hits the first pitch to the second baseman. They get a force on Spittler. No play at the play late at first base, and so 1 out. And I'll also give Kelsey credit. She personifies you run until there's no more reason to run. She could have just as easily said, you know what, I hit it back to the pitcher.
I'm out.
And I'm out. I'm not even going to try it. But she ran and she made it, and now she's forced at second base. And the batter is Dillard, and he swings at the first pitch and lifts one to right field. It's down for a hit. Savane holding up halfway between first and second does manage to get to second base, and it's first and second with 1 out.
That was a veteran right fielder move. He threw his hands up like he was calling for the ball. That gave enough doubt in Sabane's mind that it was going to get caught, so he only went halfway and looked like he was going to slow down. Then when the ball dropped in front of him, he had to turn on the wheels to get there and just did barely beat the play. Now, fortunately, the throw got away from the second baseman covering the bag, so he was going to be safe either way, but that was a lot closer than one would have thought.
Indeed it was, and so the top of the order now, James Clark, the batter, and he swings at the first pitch and hits one to right field. That's got some carry to it.
That one is going to go off the fence.
Off the fence. Here is Zabane scoring. He had to hold to see if the ball was going to be caught. He scores, hit and holds third, and it's another one of those nearly 300-foot singles for James Clark, but he does drive in a run, and that makes our score 13-6.
That's the frustrating part because he would be at third base right now, if not further along with his plus track star speed. So now they're going to have to string together a couple more hits.
Here's Keith Henshaw. He is 2 for 3, a pair of singles and a pop-up to the shortstop. First pitch to him is also, he swings at that first pitch and fouls one to the left side, 1-2.
Went first pitch hunting there. Had a plan, looks like he was trying to go down that line.
And the next one is swung on and hit to right field. Shot. Nice little seeing eye single that'll score Hinton. Clark stops at second. It's 13-7.
That was a beautiful shot. The ball hit too hard for Clark to get to third because it was just 2 hops right to the right fielder who was crashing in. So even with his speed, not enough of a chance to get there.
Chris Bogan has 4 runs batted in this game. He is 3 for 3. He has hit 2 singles that have gone to the fence. He is ahead in the count now, 3 balls and a strike with the on-deck hitter Brian Van Vleera coming up next.
How many home runs does Austin have left?
First of all, that's a base hit.
That is.
Right between the left.
That's going to carry all the way to the track.
Clark will score. Henshaw to third. It's a double for Bogan. And another run for Fusion. And we'll bring up Van Vleera. You asked me a question. How many home runs do they have?
They haven't hit.
They haven't hit one yet. Yeah. No, they have not. 3 in the inning. That gives them 8. Van Vleera has hit into 2 double plays.
Not an option here, one would think.
Well, no. One.
Be a visit to the mound out here.
And both of those double plays happen as a result of Charlie's having that 5-man infield because both of those balls were hit to the middle infielder.
Where nobody would have been.
Exactly. The first one, the middle infielder, who today is Will Oldham, touched second and threw to first, double up a runner. That would have been Van Vleera. And then the second one was when he caught a line drive and threw back to double off the runner at first base. So, yes, there is no room for that.
So if you're thinking, a manager who may not have been paying attention will look at that and say, well, he's grounded into 2 double plays. I don't need to worry about this batter. But he really has hit the ball on the money both times.
That's right.
And it's just as a result of that 5th infielder, as you said, that's the line score that he has right now. But 6 feet one way or the other, and that's a different outcome.
Van Vleera takes the ball. Bogan at second, Henshaw at third. Just 1 out.
Trying to get him to go to the right
pitch.
side.
It's low. The middle infielder is stationed just to the right of second base, and Van Vleera takes a walk, and the bases are loaded.
That might have been a pitch around to get to Hinton.
Here, well, yes, and you know what? Because they've gotten him out 3 times today. Ashton has flied to left, grounded to second, flied to left.
I think that's what that conference with the coach was, coming out to have a chat with his pitcher.
He takes the first pitch for a strike on the outside of the plate. Here's the next one. And that pitch is
hit
low, hit the plate, 2-2. Right back at you. Here's the pitch up the middle, and that is through for a base hit. Henshaw scores. Bogan scores. Van Vleera holds second.
That was a money hit by the veteran Ashton Hinton, 2-time world champion, coming up big there, even though he was 0 for 3 going into that at-bat. Came up when it mattered.
There is Straker.
Straker,
Five have scored this inning. I have 13-10. They wanted to put a runner in, but they've already used their runners. Avane was going to come out and run for Van Vleera, but they have already used their runner here in the inning when Hinton ran for Dillard. Neither of the two players that they have on the bench will run as fast as Van Vleera. Here is the first pitch to Straker, and it is a ball. I know from knowing this team that neither Andy nor Brian runs very fast, and that pitch is a strike. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
We still only have 1 out.
The next one, it is high, or I don't know what that signal meant. Anyway, it's 3-2, and Straker swings, and he goes up the middle. That's a base hit. Van Vleera comes around to score, Hinton on his way to third.
And 6 runs have scored now, making it 13-11.
I'm going to go verify that the score that we have is correct, because right now the score that I do have is with 6 runs in the inning. I have a score of 13-11. Ashton Hinton is at third base. Eric Straker is at first base. Ben Spokley, as for now, is the potential tying run with 1 out. And the first pitch to him. He swings and hits one to the alley in left center field. That's down. That's going to roll all the way to the fence. Hinton scores. Here comes Straker. He scores. Spokley in at second base. And it's now 13-12. Was I right about that? It's 14-13?
What a walk-off to come back from 8 to score 9.
That's an incredible inning that Austin just put together, and the Fusion will advance.
That was some kind of rally from this Austin team. Hats off to Charlie's. They dominated the game throughout the entire, and just came up short in that inning. I guess you were prescient, Rich, when you said it's going to come down to the last at bat.
So that means that I had an extra run somewhere for Charlie's, but that doesn't matter. We have seen ourselves. This is their second comeback. 13-12 is our final score as the Fusion will advance to the next round.
Yeah, so that final score, 14 Austin Fusion, 13 Charlie's. An outstanding job. Great job on the call there, Rich. We're going to cut our coverage again. We'll come back. We're going to check some batteries and do all of that stuff, pay a couple bills. For Rich Siegel, Mitch Barnes, you just watched a barn burner. That's Austin Fusion up 14, Charlie's Phoenix 13. And we'll be back after this.